They say cold cases fade with time, but this one didn't fade. It waited. For more than 20 years, the disappearance of 16-year-old Molly Bish sat frozen in public memory. No arrest, no trial, no courtroom-truce, just a chair. Empty. But here's what most people don't realize. The case never went quiet because it was solved. It went quiet because something didn't fit. Evidence was collected. Sketches were drawn. A suspect was named. And yet, prosecutors still said they were missing one thing. They never said what it was. Now, after 2 decades, files are being reopened. Evidence is being re-examined. And a name once whispered at the edge of the case is suddenly standing at the center again. If this update holds weight, then Molly Bish didn't just vanish. She was taken, and the person responsible may have been visible from the very beginning. June 27, 2000. A Tuesday. Clear weather. Nothing unusual. 16-year-old Molly Bish leaves home to work her lifeguard shift at Kman's Pond in Warren, Massachusetts. It's her 8th day on the job. Her mother, Molly Bish, drives her. They stop at a convenience store. Molly buys a bottle of water. Then the police station, where Molly signs out her lifeguard radio. Nothing rushed. Nothing strange. When Magi drops her off, the beach is quiet. Too quiet. Molly sets her things down. Her chair, her shoes, her radio, and then she disappears. By late morning, families arrive at the beach. There's no lifeguard. The chair is empty. The radio untouched. The flip-flops still placed neatly on the sand. Molly hated walking barefoot. Her mother knew that. That detail mattered, because it meant one thing. Molly didn't walk away. Something interrupted her. Something fast enough that she never even called in. The most disturbing detail doesn't come from the day Molly vanished. It comes from the day before, June 26th. Molly Bish notices a man sitting alone in a white car at the pond. He's smoking. He doesn't leave. She waits. 10 minutes. 15. 20. He stays. No fishing gear. No swimming. Just watching. It unsettles her. She tells Molly that night. Molly isn't alarmed. She assumes he's just another fisherman. But the next morning, Molly is gone. When police hear about the white car, the tone of the investigation shifts. Witnesses report seeing a similar vehicle near the pond. Another sighting places a white car at a nearby car wash. Another, behind the pond, near a cemetery. The timeline tightens. The window narrows. Investigators release a composite sketch. A white male. Older. Mustache. Smoking. The image floods the media. Diebspuling. Hundreds of them. Too many. And that becomes the problem. Because the more faces the sketch fits, the less it identifies anyone. Years later, a second sketch is released. Different face. Same shadow. Still no arrest. Still no name. Just a car that appears and vanishes. Search teams comb the area. Dogs track a scent toward a cemetery. But scent isn't proof. At Kman's Pond, investigators collect everything. Cigarettes. Trash. Personal items. But this is a public beach. DNA degrades. Samples mix. Time destroys clarity. The chair isn't knocked over. There's no struggle, which makes the possibility even darker. Because it suggests compliance. Or deception. Then, 3 years later, Molly's remains are found at Whiskey Hill. The location raises more questions than answers. The distance. The exposure. The time. DNA confirms it's her. But DNA doesn't name her killer. Years pass. Then, in 2021, prosecutors finally speak. They name a person of interest. Francis Frank Summer Sr. But there's a problem. He's already dead. Cremated. No DNA comparison possible. The evidence points but doesn't land. And prosecutors admit something chilling. In 2025, a new detective takes over. 80 boxes of files. Thousands of tips. Some never followed up. Some never closed. And one item becomes a priority again. Molly's backpack. Because sometimes, the truth isn't in what was taken. It's in what was left behind. The case is still open. The suspect list is still unofficial. And the white car still has no driver. Which leaves one final question. If investigators know who did this, what are they waiting for? And if they don't, then the most dangerous thing about Molly Bish's case isn't that it's unsolved. It's that the person responsible may have walked away and blended back into ordinary life and never looked back.